Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, Organized with Joy. And last time's video, I was doing a whole house declutter with me. And if you remember, I mentioned that I kind of ran out of steam on that day. I needed to also declutter here in my bedroom and also in my bathroom. And that video ended up being really long, so it's good that I did not have even more footage. But today I am here in my bedroom. I do want to declutter in here and in my bathroom. I'm not going to be going through any clothes, primarily because I did do a huge clothes declutter not all that long ago. In the fall, I did a makeover on my closet and I did a big declutter back then. But in addition to that, I want to kind of wait until I'm well into my no-buy year before I start making decisions about clothes. Because the last time I did a no-buy year, it became really more apparent to me what my style was because I wasn't bringing in new pieces constantly, and it gave me a better perspective on my wardrobe. I actually don't have a lot therefore in my room because pretty much all I have in here is my dresser and our side tables. And I'm not gonna go through my husband's things. I have pretty much decided not to declutter his things, and he's not a huge fan of decluttering, so I kind of let him keep his spaces however he wants to keep them. I also just recently did a makeup declutter, so I won't need to declutter that, but I definitely want to go through my jewelry and other things that are in my bathroom. So let's get to decluttering. Actually, before we get to decluttering, I did want to mention that today is a Thoughtful Thursday, and I've been excited for this particular Thoughtful Thursday because I'm going to be sharing the insights and the things that I've learned so far in the month of January doing my no-buy year. And this is actually in collaboration with my sweet friend Becca. Her channel is Becca at Home, and I found out that she is also doing a no-buy year. So I asked her if she was going to be doing updates on how it was going and if she would want to do a collaboration with me on my video where I'm doing my update. So if you want to hear more about a no-buy year and the insights we've gained, definitely check out Becca's video. I will have that linked in my description box below.
I still have your faded Nike sweatshirt, so when you coming back home to the city, streetlights mayhem, I know you're missing that. Oh, I've almost had enough of just your face on my phone. It's old news, but I miss you. Counting down the days, every minute, every hour, got me going insane while the leaves fall off your flowers. I'm wishing you were closer, your coffee's getting colder. Can't you see I'm waking up without the piece of me I love? Wondering if it's all worth it, but I know where my heart is right. 'Cause I still have your faded Nike sweatshirt, so when you coming back home to the city, streetlights mayhem, I know you're missing that. Oh, I've almost had enough of just your face on my phone. It's old news, but I miss you. You always make it easy every time that we're together, but I never realized how the list goes on and on forever. The way you leaning for a kiss and how we sing along to Taylor Swift. You're kinda conscious of all my nonsense, so it's the little things I miss. Wondering if it's all worth it, but I know where my heart is right. 'Cause I still have your faded
Okay, so these are almost gone, so that's why I had that other bottle. And then recently I did kind of musical chairs with some of the trays I have. I've talked about this before, but I do like using trays to corral things. It just looks neater. And I had this tray right there, but it collects dust really easily and it's difficult to clean it because of the braiding of this basket. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. And then this I also had up, I used to have up here on my nightstand because I like to put lotion on my hands and feet every night, but I am going to go ahead and get rid of this because I have a different container of lotion that I just keep inside the drawer. Okay, so in addition to this basket and this jar of lotion that I'm getting rid of, I am going to get rid of this body brush. I have good intentions to use this body brush, but I just don't really use it. I use it very infrequently, I guess I should say. It's something that I'm thinking about with my possessions is like, will I really incorporate this into my regular habits, or is this just something that I keep looking at and saying to myself, maybe it would be good to use a body brush on the regular, but only using it, you know, once or twice a year. So because of that, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and get rid of that. This is random. This is a jar that has rocks from the beaches of Puerto Vallarta. My husband and I went there for our 20th anniversary as a vacation, just the two of us. And I actually brought back sand and these rocks. And we brought back sand from different vacation locations, and I have those on display in my game room. And I used to have these rocks there too, but I took them down when I was kind of simplifying that space, and I just stuck them in this side table drawer, I guess. I think because I have the sand, that is sufficient enough for remembering that vacation. I don't need these two. So I will probably keep this jar. I can repurpose the jar, but I'm gonna get rid of the rocks. And then I am going to get rid of this phone case. I have two phone cases, and this one, it was really convenient because I could like set my phone up to watch things, but I found that I like my more slim profile case, and I just stopped like switching them back and forth, and this one has just been sitting in there for months now, so I think I can go ahead and get rid of that. This was a Bible verse that was just really meaningful to me at one point. I liked to read it on the regular to encourage myself at a particular time in life. That this verse was really meaningful and encouraging, but I haven't looked at it in quite a while, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of that. Okay, and then I do have a few things that I'm just gonna relocate. First is this Bible study that I've been doing. I'm gonna put it downstairs with the book I'm reading and my Bible. I think one night I just did it up here in my bed, and so it was up here, but typically I like to do this down in my office. And then I have my dog's brush. I used to brush him at night sometimes, but honestly he has become very reclusive in his old age, and he's usually not even up here with us in the evenings when my husband and I are watching TV together. So I think I'm just gonna move this to the dog drawer. Pencil that I was using with my Bible study that I'm gonna put downstairs. And lastly is this washcloth that I was using to clean my dog's eyes out in the evenings. Like I mentioned, he really has become reclusive. He's not up here with us in the evenings, so I need to do this at a different time in the day. So I need to find a location that makes more sense than my side table. Okay friends, before I get into decluttering the bathroom, I thought I would just sit down and chat with you about the insights or the things I've learned so far in this no-buy year. And the first month, I was going to sit down and write out a script and do it in voiceover form like I typically do here on my channel for Thoughtful Thursdays. However, I'm not sure I'm going to have enough footage to be able to talk about all the points I want to talk about. Also, I think it might be beneficial for me to just kind of talk organically about it. I do still plan to write all the thoughts out. I do want to document my insights at the end of each month over on my blog. My website is just Organized with Joy, and so I will write a blog post debriefing about my insights. But I thought I would just sit down and chat before I get into the next little project. And full disclosure, I did have to go have a cup of coffee. I was so tired. I woke up really early this morning, like at 5:30, and I could not go back to sleep. And I was just listening to positive affirmations for like an hour before I finally was like, okay, I guess 6:30 is an appropriate time to get out of bed. So yeah, I just got up, or I woke up earlier than usual. Sometimes I'll get out of bed at 6:30, but I don't typically wake up at 5:30. But anyway, let me get into all of the insights that I had so far from doing this no-buy year. The first thing that I noticed, and it was pretty much right away, I became hyper aware of how much money we spend and everything we're spending it on that is just like basic necessities, you know, because my no-buy year is specific to some of the extras, not all of the extras, but some of the extras. You know, I think I mentioned it in one of my videos, I'm doing it with no clothes, shoes, accessories, or home decor is my main focus. But I just became hyper aware of what we spend money on. And I have actually been going through our bank statements and looking and seeing what kind of subscriptions we have, and is there anything that I could eliminate? Are there any places where we're spending money that it doesn't make sense, or it's just not worth the money? So I have been more aware of that and evaluating that and trying to just be wiser with our money. So that has been a really great insight. And honestly, it's made me hyper aware of what other people are spending as well, and not in a judgmental way, okay? If you know me in real life, and I don't know, I guess maybe if you've watched my channel for a while, I hope that you pick up on this. I am not a judgmental person. I am someone who is very compassionate and understanding. So I don't want it to come across wrong. It's not like I'm judging them like, oh my gosh, you're spending money on that, because truly I do believe that we all have different passions, different things that we spend our money on, and I think that that is totally fine. But it was more so in a noticing way, like, wow, Americans are consumers. So that was kind of interesting, like especially watching haul videos and stuff. When I would see these haul videos, I'd be like, oh my gosh, they have to deal with that stuff. They're gonna have to organize it, clean it, and maybe one day declutter it. And it just made me aware that I really I want to be intentional with the things that cross the threshold of our home, the things that come in, because every single thing that comes in, we are going to have to deal with. We are going to have to clean it, organize it, maintain it, and that takes time. And when you are organizing, cleaning, and maintaining stuff, that leaves less time to do other things, perhaps more meaningful things. So that was just something else that I just became hyper aware of consumerism. And I guess maybe when I was in it, I wasn't quite as aware of it, if that makes sense. The other insight that I had, it's kind of adjacent to the consumerism point, is I started noticing how much inventory we have in our home. Like, for instance, basic necessities. I started noticing like how much food we had in our pantry and in our freezer and refrigerator, and how many extra toiletries we had on hand or cleaning products. And so, you know, over the next several months here, I am going to be working on using up what we already have on hand and being more intentional about my purchases as far as food, toiletries, clean, all the things that are basic necessities, and really being more intentional in planning and assessing what we have before I go grocery shopping or before I place an order online for our basic necessities. And so that's been good. It's almost like a game to me. I don't know why it's become this way, but I'm like, ooh, what do we have in this bin? What do we have in that bin? Honestly, it's been fun in the kitchen. I feel like I've become more creative because I'm trying to use up the food we have on hand. And so I'm trying to come up with different meal plan ideas or different recipe ideas based on what we already have on hand. And so it's been kind of fun, actually. The next thing that I feel like was really insightful to me is recognizing that I don't need all this extra that I have on hand. For instance, with the food and the toiletries and stuff like that, I realized that for a family of 4, we probably have too much extra on hand. We don't need this much back stock. And that is part of the reason why I decided to start using up what we already have on hand. In addition to that, and the reason why I wanted to do a whole house declutter is I realize that that is true for other stuff as well. I don't need so many options. Next up on my to-do list is my bathroom, and one of the things that is in my bathroom is my jewelry, and I absolutely love earrings and necklaces, and I have a plethora of them. And I really want to pare down that collection. I just feel like it's overwhelming. Like, I do love to have options, but I think that there is a balance, and finding a balanced number of options to have instead of having way too many. And that is probably true for my clothes as well. I am sure that I could pare down on my clothes even more than I already have, but like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I kind of want to wait until later into the no-buy year to really go through my clothes again. But this insight has come to me that maybe I don't want so many options for all of the different categories that I have in my life. Earrings are just the number one thing that came to me, but there's a lot of other categories. Like, you know, I mentioned I decluttered my makeup, and that was something I was thinking about. Like, do I actually need this many eyeshadow options for every day? No, I probably don't. So I just feel like it's made me become more realistic with myself about this idea of having options available to me, and how maybe it would be good to have less options because it helps with not having as much decision fatigue, and for it just to be easier to move through life, I guess. With the makeup example, so that was a few weeks ago that I did that makeup declutter, and I can tell you I already am loving the more curated makeup collection. It's just making getting ready so much easier. Like, I didn't think it would make getting ready that much easier, but for some reason, like when I do my makeup now, it just is really simplistic. I just do different levels of how much makeup I'm wearing, but having the curated collection of makeup, it just makes it really simple. All I need to do then is decide like what level are we needing for today? Like what are the things you're gonna do today, and what is the appropriate makeup look for those things. So it just makes it so much more simple. Something else that I've noticed is I feel like I've unlocked a new level of creativity or something. And I think some of it is having extra time. It's not like I was spending a ton of time shopping, or I didn't feel like I was spending a ton of time shopping. But the truth is, it is giving me not only time because I'm not, you know, physically taking that time to shop, but it's also freeing up brain space because I'm not thinking about like, do I want this or that? And you know, when I come across Instagram ads now that are clothing, I scroll right past them really fast. I don't even allow my eyes to land there. I'm just like, scroll on, Joy. But I do feel like it's freed up time and brain space, and it's allowed me to be more creative. And I think some of it too is jumping back to using up what we have on hand. Like I've been more creative in the kitchen with trying to use up what we have on hand, and also just being more creative with my curated makeup collection, which that sounds weird that I could be more creative with a curated makeup collection versus a whole bunch of options, but it's like you have to get creative using what little you have. And so it really has helped me to be more creative in that way. But anyway, I just feel like it's freed up time and brain space for me to invest in other things. And just as a creative person in general, that's kind of where that focus has shifted, like being creative in all these different avenues of my life. I also wanted to talk really quickly about something else I have been doing this month. I've been doing dry January, and I have decided, in addition to doing the no buy year, I also want to challenge myself to do something each month that just pushes myself outside of my comfort zone. If you have been around for a long time, you might remember I used to have a series on my channel where it was a challenge series where every month I did choose something to do that was challenging me and pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. And I kind of quit that series, but I remembered how valuable that was, and so that was something else I wanted to do. And for January, I chose to abstain from alcohol, and that has been really amazing. It's not like I drank a lot, but now that I'm doing the dry January, I'm realizing maybe I was drinking more often than I realized, or I should have been. To be fair, I haven't gone out with girlfriends yet, and that I think is the big challenge, the big test. I will be going out with girlfriends on Friday, and it will still be January. It'll be January 31st, so I will not be drinking. And honestly, my sister has been sharing with me a lot of the research around how terrible alcohol is for you, and I am really thinking about just not drinking at all moving forward, because it really is toxic. It's basically poison that we're putting into our bodies. And as I age, I need to be really conscientious about what I am putting into my body. I need to make sure that I am making the best healthy choices that I can make so that I can age gracefully. I have felt very clear-headed this month, and some of that might be due to the no buy challenge, and just like I mentioned, like having that extra time and brain space freed up where I'm not like thinking about the things I want to buy or whatever. I do think it's been really beneficial. Next month for February, I'll be doing no sugar, which, you know, that sounds extreme. I actually don't eat a lot of sugar anyway, but when I do eat sugar, it's like natural sweeteners like maple syrup or honey or stuff like that. But I'm even cutting all of that out as well next month. But I will talk about that in next month's video when I recap next month. Anyway, I just wanted to share with you my thoughts on how this no buy challenge has been going. It has actually been going amazingly well. And I realize I'm only, you know, about a month into it. Maybe as we move forward, I will have moments where it's a lot more difficult. Maybe there are things that I'll want to buy and that'll make me, you know, feel more tempted. I don't know. We'll see. That is actually one other thing I forgot to mention. I actually am keeping a list of things that I'm interested in buying, and by the end of the year, I'll see, you know, are these still things that I wanted to buy? Or maybe at the end of each month, I'll assess what is on that list and cut out anything that I'm like, you know what, I really didn't need that. I wanted it, but I don't need it. But anyway, I did want to share these thoughts with you and just let you know how everything is going. And I hope this is inspiring or encouraging to you. And as always, I do want to hear your thoughts on my thoughts down in the comments. But please stay tuned because I'm going to go declutter my bathroom now. Okay, so this is really hard. Oh my goodness gracious. These are all pieces that I do not wear regularly anymore. I used to wear them regularly at one point in my life, and I think that's why it's so hard to potentially let them go, especially these earrings. If you've been around for a really long time, you might know that I am a huge fan of these large leather earrings. I've collected them over the years, or the layered earrings look. This one has some metal to it. But the reality is I'm just not wearing them as much as I used to. I'm gravitating more towards simple pieces, just plain gold hoops or something like that. I do still love the large leather earring look, and if you noticed, I still have quite a lot left. These are the ones I'm really on the fence about, so I'm not sure. But one of my really close friends, she loves the big leather earrings as well, so I'm gonna snap a picture and see if she would want to inherit this collection. These are some gold necklaces that they were pretty cheap to begin with. They're not like really nice necklaces. And so I just don't find myself wearing these as much as my gold necklaces from Ana Luisa. And speaking of that, this one right here looks very similar to one that Ana Luisa gifted me, and so I think I'm going to see if my daughter wants this, because let me show you that other one. Like, look at how similar those look. I don't feel like I need both of these is my point, so I am going to get rid of this one. And then this one I just didn't wear very often. It's a choker, and I just was bothered by it. It matches these earrings right there, so maybe I'll see if my friend wants that. She doesn't seem like the type that would wear a choker though, honestly, but I'll ask her. And then this is something else I used to always wear. I loved long necklaces, and I kept a couple, but honestly I just don't ever wear long necklaces anymore. Same, this is also a long necklace that I don't wear anymore. So this is what I'm decluttering from my jewelry collection thus far.
Things rarely ever go as planned. but I thought you and me were a done deal. Life barely ever makes sense, but I swore you and me were a dream real. How do I let go of you now? How do I catch tears that won't fall? They say healing happens in time. What if in my head you're still mine? You're stuck in my
This next drawer right here is mostly just makeup, and like I mentioned, I just decluttered my makeup. These are all current supplements, hair product, deodorant, and those are both facial cleanser, like deep cleansers that I use once or twice a week. I have 2 of them. Once I get through both of those, I'm only going to keep one on hand at a time. Again, going back to the not having too many backups. So this drawer is looking good.
How do I catch tears that won't fall? They say moving on is a choice. What if in my head I'm still yours? Stuck in my head. Stuck in
Okay, y'all, I am struggling with this nail polish, and I'm sitting here doing a little try on by myself, and I was like, maybe I should film this. I just tried on this, and this are all very, very similar. This one is much older than these 2. I just bought these 2 this fall in a set from this company, Olive and June. So I loved this color for so long, and maybe that's why I gravitated towards this box. But these colors are so similar, and with this one being older, I'm like, I just need to get rid of that. And look at how similar these 2 colors are. I don't know if you can see that. That one and that one. It's these 2. I definitely like this one better. And then there's this one, which is also similar. Oh my gosh, that one's definitely darker. Not that I ever paint my fingernails. Okay, not never. I do sometimes, but rarely. This is hard. Why is this so hard? And this drawer right here is good. I definitely use everything in here. I use pretty much everything in here daily, so this is good. And right here, I start going through my pajamas and loungewear, but then I realize that it's technically clothes, and so I decided to just stop and not go through those. And I also wanted to mention, I forgot to count all of the items right after I decluttered them, so there was like a handful of things that I ended up throwing in the trash, but I did count all the other items, and I believe in total it's around 35 items. So between what I decluttered on this day and the 68 items I decluttered in Tuesday's video, that brings the grand total to over 100 items decluttered from my home. Okay, y'all, all this stuff is going to be relocated. I have a place for extra buttons. This, I don't know what this cord goes to. I need to ask my husband. And then this sample pack of Advil, I'm gonna throw in my purse. And then as far as things I'm decluttering, this is the pile. I have the nail polishes. I am gonna ask my daughter about these 3 colors. I don't particularly care for them, so I don't use them as much. And then this one, like I mentioned, I have basically the exact same color. I have this little bracelet. I really feel bad getting rid of this because this was a gift, but I don't ever wear it. I honestly rarely wear bracelets in general. And then this was also a gift that I really feel bad getting rid of, but I just don't use it. I don't see any use for it. It's kind of like a makeup bag, but I really like my Merit makeup bag. This is just trash. I purchased this probably almost a year ago now, and I just never threw the box away. I don't really like this hair product. This is broken. The sprayer part will not work anymore. This allergy relief drops. I don't remember the last time I used it, and I feel like it's really old, so it probably is expired, but I didn't actually look to see. And then these are all expired things, and then this is just something that I would never use. It was a sample given to me, and I would never use it. I have a ring that I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's just like a cheap ring, and so it's like the gold has worn off on it. I don't wear headbands very often, so I just kept a few, and I'm getting rid of a few. This is a ribbon that I sometimes would use to cinch jeans that were too big on me, but I think I'm just gonna get rid of it because I don't remember the last time I used it, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. This is just trash. And then this is really hard to get rid of. I loved this at one point. I wore this all the time, absolutely loved it. It is kind of broken. You have to like hold those together to clasp it because it's broken. But yeah, I just don't wear it anymore. I was all about this turquoise for a while there, but I think it's time to let it go and pass it on to someone who will actually wear it. Okay, speaking of jewelry, I can't remember if I've showed this, but my son got me this cute necklace for Christmas, which I thought was so thoughtful because, you know, I'm always wearing the gold necklaces, usually layered. Today I just wore this by itself, but I love layering gold necklaces for sure. That's definitely a go-to look of mine right now. But I did want to thank you so much for watching today's video. I do hope that it somehow inspired or motivated you. Please don't forget to check out my description box and check out Becca's video and her channel. I know you will love her. She is just so sweet, and I was very excited to know that she was also doing a no-buy year. So if you want to go hear how her no-buy year is going, definitely click on that link. But as always, I really appreciate you watching my videos all the way until the end, and I will see you next time. Bye!